Hello, friends. Welcome to Cooking with Uncle Larry. Beautiful Sunday. Today we're going to make Uncle Larry's Bachelor Chili. I'm going to start by showing you all the ingredients you need to make it. First, you need a large pan. This is called a pan. It's made of metal, and you put it on a stove, and you turn the fire on, and the bottom part gets hot, and it cooks whatever you put in there. I'm going to start with the key core ingredient. This is a ground sirloin that I purchased from the Publix. $10.79. It's a lovely chunk of meat. I usually don't use the McCormick's low sodium, but this is kind of what they brought me on the Instacart. I like these Bush's Pinto mild chili sauce beans. Those are quite nice. You'll need a can of Hunt's tomato sauce, and you'll need a yellow onion. First thing you do is you put the meat in the pan. Then you chop the onion up very, very small pieces. Take the outside covering of the onion off. That part you're not supposed to eat. It's called the skin. And then you start adding the other ingredients. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to start with the first two things: the chopped onion and the ground meat cooking in the pan. I'll check back with an update in a second. The next step is to peel the outside of the onion off on a piece of wood called a cutting board, using a very sharp implement that dates back to early man called a knife. You take the outside layers of the onion off because that part is not good to eat. And you take this knife and you start chopping the onion up, and you got to be very careful not to cut these when you're a guitar player. Okay, friends, part 3. We've got the onions chopped up real nice. Boy, it's hard to chop them without getting that burning feeling in your eyes, right, Leo? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the cutting board, I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to put it in the pan with the meat as it's already cooking. I'll check back in 1 second. Okay, here we go. The meat in the pan with the onions. A lot of people make that mistake of trying to put the cutting board also in the pan with the meat. But what you do is you don't put the cutting board in there. You just put the onions and the meat, and you start to stir it up. I use a plastic spoon, available at any Target. Inevitably, what will happen is the grease of the meat will start to cook the onions, because nobody likes uncooked onions. Onions are only good when they're cooked, and anyone that tries to tell you otherwise is full of shit. So here's what we got going now. And inevitably, we're going to have so much grease in this pan that we have to dump it out. And what I'll do at that point is I'll take a pan lid. This pan has a lid that matches it perfectly. I'll put the pan lid on and barely crack the side and dump the grease into another container, and then I will discard that grease. But this is only after that grease gets used to cook the onions. It's going to be delicious. And this is when the kids in the house all start saying, "Ooh, Dad, what are you cooking? That smells really good." Because the combination of ground meat and onions together smells like America. Thank you. Okay, friends, Leo's holding the camera for me. I'm going to show you this old 60s Sunbeam electric can opener. That's one of my favorite items. Look how easily this thing slices open a can. Works perfectly. It's probably 50-some years old. Check it out. So you open these up, pour them all in, okay? Okay, friends, we've added the ingredients. We drained the grease. Now it's just a matter of stirring it up, heating it up. I put 2 packs of the chili mix in there. That is my secret. Most people would only put 1. I put 2 in for that extra bang. And Leo, tell them how good it is.
Trust me, guys, it's amazing. It's so good.
I'm not much of a cook, admittedly, but this stuff is amazing, and everyone who tries it loves it. Steve Gorman was over here the other night. He had 3 bowls of it. You know, all you got to do is put a little saltine cracker in there, or some shredded cheese, whatever you like. Get you a cold beer, turn on the game. America.